Alrighty, people, I am back. And what if there was a guy on the internet who was absolutely insane? He exists. What if I told you he exists? And his name is What If Hist?
Hi everybody, I'm Rudyard the What If Altist guy, and before you watch this video, I have to add a couple different preambles for all of our collective sanity. You'll see why. Firstly,
Yay.
there's lots of stuff in this video where, as I wrote it, I didn't know how, because human words cannot convey it. And the way I feel giving you this video is I'm trying to explain something that cannot be explained in words, which is intensely difficult. And so when I try to tell you something, I wish I could show it to you, but I have to write words. Um, Certain parts of the story will make me, in the way it's narrated, look like a complete narcissistic egomaniac. I
Oh, that's because you are a complete narcissistic egomaniac. Let's continue.
apologize for that, but again, it will make sense at the end.
Will it? Will it make sense? Will it? I don't think so.
Rudyard William Lynch, was born on June 23rd, 2001, in Manchester by the Sea, Massachusetts, to my parents Mark Lynch and Leslie Payne Zimmer. Our current era of history completely discounts genealogy, which is one of the most deranged things you can do, since genealogy
What? Uh, repeat that?
Leslie Payne Zimmer. Our current era of history completely discounts genealogy.
No? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It does not do that though. It doesn't. It does not discount genealogy. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, this is my new streaming room, by the way. Yeah, well, recording studio slash streaming room. When I start streaming. Is my camera too blown out? I could try turning down the lights. Hold on. What is this man First of all, no. They don't discount genealogy. Second of all, why does that matter? And third of all, what are you talking about? Like actually, what are you talking about? Fuck. What is he talking about? Actually, I want to know. I want to know what he's talking about. What he means by this. What is he on?
which is one of the most deranged things you can do, since genealogy is the code which imprints who you are through your blood. Then,
No?
once that's imprinted on your
What?
environment,
Whoa. No? It kind of. Kind of. Your personality, your experiences. Okay, so. Your experiences alongside your genes have a lot of impact on who you are as a person. More so your personality, because that, like, more so your experiences, because your personality is dictated by your experiences, and uh, how you look at the world is it's a big thing. Okay, so your experiences will dictate your personality, your your outlook on life, how you view yourself, how you view others, how easy it is for you to make friends, how easy it is for you to fall in love. But genealogy plays mostly in like what freckles you have or what hair you have, underlying medical conditions, how early or if at all you'll go bald, stuff like that. It's the human experience is a complicated thing.
the underlying code adapts to different situations. So when you can see someone's genealogy and ancestors, you see the previous action.
To repeat that?
Then once that's imprinted on your environment, the underlying code adapts to different situations. So when
We're underlying. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Are we suddenly robots? Are humans basically robots to him? Actually, I need to know this. I need to know this. This. There we are. This chair I'm sitting on does not have a back, so I could just easily go like that and fall off. But it's also high enough for me to reach the keyboard, kinda. Scooch in. Scoot. Now I'm too close to the camera. Okay, great. Scooch back a little. Yeah, there we are. There we are. Anyway, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? Uh, let's continue, I guess.
you can see someone's genealogy and ancestors, you see the previous actions their underlying code has done before. So let's go.
What? What is he talking about? Seeing the genealogy sees your past. What? What is he talking about? No, seriously, I want to know what is he on right now? Like, actually, fuck. What is he talking about? Tell someone. What is this? This is the rants of a schizophrenic man. But like actually I've pre-watched a little bit of this. This is the rants of a schizo. We are watching a schizo right now. Yeah, he's just insane. Also, one of my monitors is like half the size of my other monitor because it just is. Uh, so that's no good.
Go through my ancestors. My father's ancestry comes from almost all Ireland. Apparently, genetically, from the south and the west of the country, which is the normal region for Irish Americans. They moved over after the potato famine in the early 1850s and around the time of the American Civil War. Some went to Quebec first, but then they ended up in the American Northeast, with my grandfather growing up in Jersey City and my grandmother in Boston. My father's line has a strange curse that each male must pick an impossible battle. My father told me.
What? What? I'm confused. I'm frightened, and I'm confused. Each male must pick an impossible battle. I can't take this seriously. What is he talking? What is he talking about? What is he on? What is he on? What is he on? What is he? What is he on? What am I on? Nah, this is all a bit.
Me growing up that the only thing that matters in life is honor, and if I lived with.
He's talking like a mid-century like poet. No, he's talking like a mid-century like wannabe knight. He's like, oh my lord, hoity doity hoity doity. Fucking fuck. Why? Why is he talking like this? Oh, Oh, it's a little fox plush. Look at it. Look at the little fox plush. Look at, look at that
with
little
honor.
fox. Oh.
Then he said growing up that your status as a man is determined by do you hold your word and do you die on the hills you need to die on. And to be a lynch,
I swear he's talking like a fucking Victorian. He got ripped from the Victorian era and thrusted into the modern day. Yeah, the modern day. What is he talking about? What is he on? Bah! Ooh, this is physically painful right now. Ooh, that's a million times better. All right.
by definition, is to put your own honor above your life, which is the
What is he? What? What is he on about? I understand what he means. I just don't respect how he's saying it. You know? Like, actually, what is.
highest virtue a human can do. My great grandpa was in the Jersey City police force and he picked the wrong faction in the local Democrat Party politics. He was the last man to stand by his patron when everyone else had fled him. He killed his entire reputation and career in the city due to his loyalty to his patron. My grandpa, Joseph Lynch, grew up in Jersey City and worked as a longshoreman. He was 18 years old in 1940.
What? This is already 11 minutes out of a 2-minute video. Sorry, responding to a friend. Oh. This man, as you will see, is not well.
42 when he was drafted to fight. He passed an IQ test with no background in mathematics and was sent as an aide to the British. He said,
I don't know how to respond to this. I don't know how to respond to this video because it's just mental illness and his history.
because they wanted to make Americans look better to the British by having a humanities based guy who could talk about philosophy and stuff. And my grandpa always underplayed stuff. He might have been doing more stuff. I don't know. After the war, he went back to America and he was able to go to Harvard on the GI Bill. And he tried to be a lawyer after that, but then they forced him to take too many cases that were against his honor, and so he quit to become a professor.
They what is that? They forced him to take too many cases again. That's what being a lawyer is about. You take the cases you don't necessarily agree with. Lawyers defend murderers at times. They I don't know what kind of lawyer his grandpa was. Oof. I don't know what kind of lawyer his grandpa was aiming for, whether it was a defensive lawyer or a I don't know I guess prosecutional lawyer. I don't know that much about the law. Uh, however, there we are. Yep. Almost. Had to fix that. But anyway, I don't know what kind of lawyer his grandpa was gonna be. I don't have that history. But there are a lot of different jobs a lawyer takes, whether that be defending horrible people who are criminals, or trying to take down the criminals. It's sorry, I had to attend to things.
However, during his career as a lawyer, he befriended a Russian noblewoman who became quite fond of him, and so when she died, she left him her inheritance. And when he was a professor, he studied constitutional law, teaching at a school in northern New Jersey up by New York. And the book he wrote in constitutional law was that the founding fathers had purposely structured the Constitution so that there was a degree of plausible deniability inside the philosophic logic so that you could have a sub-variety of different possible positions with each law that was written.
What is he talking about? Like, actually, what is he talking about? I swear I'm losing more brain cells listening to this guy. I swear I don't know. I don't know.
He married my grandmother, Irene O'Neill, where they met at the St. Patrick's Day dance. And she worked as she was a homemaker for the family, and he had 5 children where he moved to Princeton, New Jersey to support his family. He did a lot to try to assimilate out of the Irish community, so he studied classical literature, and he studied culture and the Renaissance, and he was really into medieval theology. And he became very Catholic due to the war, where he believed that the war was symbolic for the dangers of modernism and totalitarianism, and the only way we could break out of that was...
Hold on while my brain processes what I'm watching. The dangers of modernism and totalitarian. What the fuck's totalitarianism? What is he on? What is he on about?
Through a return to Christianity. So he was a very strong fundamentalist Catholic. And he thought the 1930s Catholic Church, which meant most people saw as ridiculous reactionary, he thought that it was too liberal and they had to return to medieval values.
I want to hear that one more time.
A return to Christianity. So he was a very strong fundamentalist Catholic. And he thought the 1930s Catholic Church, which meant most people saw as ridiculous reactionary, he thought that it was too liberal and they had to return to medieval...
Wasn't the medieval period where they were doing all the crusades and shit? Just gonna leave that there, actually. Like, what in the world am I watching? This is genuine entertainment. Because it's so insane that it loops around to being brilliant. Not in the Not brilliant in the way that like, oh yeah, this is so true and so correct. No, it's brilliant for the comedy of it. It's absolutely brilliant for the comedy of it.
Medieval values. He was also, although he didn't teach at Princeton, he lived in Princeton, and so he was friends with a lot of the professors, and he was friends with multiple of the most important Catholic philosophers of that time period. And he supported
Mhm.
my family off a middle class income. They lived in a small house together, and they had I don't know if I said he had 5 kids before, but that's crazy. The Irish used to have that many kids.
Believe me, I've seen families way bigger than that. I have a family bigger than that. Wait. No, I have a family exactly that size. Sorry.
And oh yeah, so final hilarious story about my grandpa. So my grandpa died about 10 years ago, and he was like
Oh,
95. It's crazy. He was born 1926. And
I lost my grandpa recently. He served in Vietnam.
for the final year he was at the home, or the retirement home, whenever he saw an actress on the TV, he yelled whore because he said, quote,
Oh! Oh! I, I, I don't know how to respond to that. Just imagine it. Whore! Fucking Jesus Christ.
quote, all of these actresses have sold their bodies to get their status. And he said, I won't stand for that.
That's how capitalism works. We are all selling our bodies to get a modicum of status.
So next comes my dad, Mark Lynch, who was born in 1961, and he went to Harvard like my grandpa as a young man. He ran the Harvard strategy. He ran the Harvard Strategy Club as his hobby. After that, he started working in Wall Street when the Reagan presidency started, where he met my mom. My dad made solid money as a mutual
Biggest mistake his dad could have made. Because the end result was
fund manager and banking expert. He's an expert in regional and
that
international
was
banking.
that was really mean, actually.
My father has the same obsessive nerd spirit as what I have, where he's read over 300 books on banking history. He may be the person in the world who's read the most banking history. I try to get him to write a history of banking, and he doesn't
Why?
do it. Um, and he runs a Mad Max fan account and banking advice page called Corpus Colossus on Twitter.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've watched Mad Max. I don't watch movies often. Movies just aren't for me.
Some of my friends followed my dad without even them realizing it. He also has a
Oof.
hobby in studying
Why is
Marxist
my eye?
literature, and so growing up, he would explain Marxist lies to me. And
So now we know where this guy gets it from.
that he would read these books to me, and then he would go through how the Marxists had lied, the methods they have used for deception, like overemphasizing numbers, not looking at practical application or human nature. So I heard that stuff growing up. And he said he studied leftist philosophy because he wanted to know how someone could have completely incorrect beliefs and yet be so sure of themselves. And my family were in the nice house and nice vacation cast of rich. I think my family's net worth when I was a kid
So you weren't middle class. You were wealthy. Do, do you not know what wealthy means? Like this just from this room, this looks like a nice. Is that a TV? Looks like a nice house, but it's unkempt. It's unkept.
was like 10 to 15 million dollars total. And my dad, I'm sorry, I love you, Dad, but you have very strong Asperger's, which you might have picked up on.
Oh, that's okay. You can just say autism, man. It's not insulting to just say autism. I have autism. I have autism. This man has autism. I, he has autism.
And my dad studies 19th century train routes as a hobby. He memorizes them. And
Autism. What did I just say about autism? Autism.
when I was 16, my dad said, "You are a
Autism.
man now. I had two roles as a father, to teach you to be a man and to teach you have
Autism.
honor. I have succeeded at both. You
I, wait, wait. Sounds like a fucking movie quote. Like fucking what's his face? Keanu Reeves would say that. I had two roles. To teach you how to be a man and to teach you how to be a father. However, whatever he said. I have done both.
you are now a man. You are now responsible for your own actions. Figure your own stuff out." Another
Ouch.
example of the kind of guy my dad is that he ate tuna fish every single
Tuna fish! Tuna fish! I don't want to steal the West Side Tyler bit, but it's so good.
single day of his life from ages 12 to ages 30.
Jesus Christ. That's that's a lot of tuna fish. One would say that's too much tuna fish. I can't help myself. Tyler had the best bit about this. Fucking too much. That really is too much tuna fish. Actually, factually, that's too much. You should not be having that much tuna fish. You'll get mercury poisoning and you'll die. It's almost like he almost did that.
And he did it because it was 50 cents cheaper than the other sandwich option. And then it gave him crippling mercury poisoning. And my father had crippling mercury poisoning when he inseminated me, which nearly killed him.
Run that back.
And my father had crippling mercury poisoning when he inseminated me, which mercury poisoning. And my father had crippling mercury poisoning when he inseminated me, which nearly killed him. And my father had crippling mercury poisoning when he inseminated me, which nearly killed him. And my father had crippling mercury poisoning when he inseminated me, which nearly killed him. And my father had crippling mercury poisoning when he inseminated me, which nearly
Oh, I know he means conceived him, or like, but like, that is the worst fuck up imaginable. Jesus Christ! So one more time.
killed him. And my father had crippling mercury poisoning when he inseminated me, which nearly killed him.
Okay, that's enough of that. It's enough of. I have the humor of a fucking middle schooler. Apparently.
and he nothing worked, and he worked with Russian alternative healers who lowered his mercury blood pressure. And then he went on a trip to China for business, and then jacked
What?
up the mercury again.
How does going to China jack up the mercury in your body? How does that work? How does that happen? How does one do that? Alright, we've been going on for like 30 minutes ish.
When I was scared about failing a test in high school, my dad took me to the local creek outside our house, and he said, "Look at this creek flow, Rudyard. This creek was here long before the white man came, and it was probably here before the natives were there before, or before the earlier group of natives had replaced another group of natives."
Look at this river, boy. You see this river? It was here long before we were, and it'll be here long after. This creek has flown through generations. The one constant in this universe, the one constant, boy, is this here creek. That's where we're gonna cut it off for today. This might become a series. Uh, because I can. Alright, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. I'll see y'all next time.